Long ago, in the distant years, beginning near the cusp of the 2010s, in late 2009, the first ever trailer for a weird looking live action slash CGI looking film known as The Legend of Guardians, The Owls of Ga'Hoole, was shown back then. It was said to come out in 2010. I was among many of the children, eager and looking forward to it. But then, on the day when it was supposed to come out, it vanished from public sight. Legends say that it was a bit of a box office bomb here and there, with middling reception, but like the lost colony of the Roanoke, it vanished from the minds and memories of many people. Until today, when my colleague, Professor Pedro, brought to our study a copy of the movie. This is our explanation. This is our mystery. This is our documentation, and this is our commentary of the Legend of the Guardians, the Owls of Ga'Hoole.
Yeah, that's nice, Jova, but there's no live action in this movie whatsoever, though.
Oh,
It's completely
goddammit,
generated, from what I understand.
From what I had heard, it was one of those live action slash CGI hybrid ones. You know, the ones
Like
where,
dinosaurs.
like, you know,
It's entirely animated.
huh, weird. It looked live action from the trailers, too.
Well, it's Zack Snyder, Joe. If there's one thing Zack Snyder does well, is visuals.
Well, kudos to him on that.
Anyway, while I was checking in the meantime, yeah, this is actually not an original property, but actually based on a series of novels called properly The Guardians of Ga'Hoole. One that actually continued after the publication of this movie. Though from what I've seen, the reception from people who actually were fans of the book was not really positive because it's a bit of a mixed adaptation. They like introduce characters who weren't supposed to be here and mix someone else. But again, I know literally nothing about the books.
So it doesn't satisfy even fans of the source material. That's nice.
Apparently not.
Oh, goody.
Hey, guys. Hey, Teo and Jova. A Zack Snyder movie adapted from source material that doesn't satisfy the core fans. Where have I heard this before?
Watchmen.
As if that wasn't bad enough, Village Roadshow Pictures are involved. You remember the same brilliant studio that brought to us the likes of Passengers. That was a cool picture now, wasn't it?
Anyway, also for the record, audience, right before we start, this was accompanying the cinema by what I'm about to say. It was not for the Blu-ray, but anyway, at the cinema, this was first preceded by a very short 3D animated Looney Tunes short. I was initially suggesting potentially to comment on that too, especially because Warner Bros. Had put it on YouTube. But then I noticed that he removed it anyway, and since it wasn't like a feature of the Blu-ray, nor it's it's actually tied to the movie, like say the Sucker Punch short, I think we can skip that.
Curious,
Yeah.
which 3D Looney Tunes short was that? Because
It was called Full of Flying.
Oh, yeah, I like that one. That's the Run of My Coyote one.
Yeah.
Yes. Anyway, everybody, you know Zack Snyder, the guy that made Sucker Punch and Watchmen back in the day, but is now mostly known for making Man of Steel and Batman v Superman. What if I told you that back in 2010 he made a family film? Yes,
According to TV Tropes, it was a request of his kids so that they could watch something that he made.
Oh,
so
boy.
So it's similar to how Martin Scorsese made Hugo so he could have a movie that he could share with his daughter, except Scorsese succeeded, whereas Zack, well, that's debatable.
I guess a better comparison would be like, well, hey, it's like Adventures of Shark Boy and Lava Girl, which Robert Rodriguez literally made based off of the dreams of one of his kids.
Honestly, if I was a little kid watching this, I would fall asleep because.
That's
okay,
the
we can
thing.
see
Well,
that.
okay. That's the thing, though. This movie has gone, well, as I mentioned in my opening narrative, pretty much widely forgotten.
Yeah,
Nobody
this
really
movie-
remembers this movie.
No, like a lot of times on YouTube, you'll find plenty of insert movie here. Why is it an underrated gem or something along those lines? You know,
Not so much with this
you
one,
will
though.
not find anybody on YouTube championing this movie as an underappreciated gem. No, this movie was completely forgotten. Completely. Nobody talks about this movie.
And like I said, the hype was there for this movie. I mean, it did look pretty gorgeous. And again, to the point where even I thought it was live action / CGI. But no, maybe it's more like the kind of thing that Polar Express or Beowulf goes for, where it looks hyper-realistic but is in actuality animated.
Basic, everybody. I'm the only one here who actually has seen this movie before. I saw it in theaters when it first came out. And I remember the basic premise, but I don't remember all that much in terms of details. I remember just feeling very, there was a movie, I guess.
I apologize to anyone who's a fan of the books, but unlike a lot of our adaptation runs, we won't exactly have knowledge of the books to go off of, unless Tio's read them.
No, I literally discovered that this morning while I was researching infos for the movie.
Sure.
But I have to say, I'm actually curious to check this out.
Well, apparently it doesn't satisfy fans of the source material, so that's already one negative point against it. But
let's see if it works as a movie on its own, even though it has a Rotten Tomatoes score of 51%.
Oof.
All right, everybody. Tune in at the 0 second mark because there's like 6 seconds of black screen before anything actually pops up on screen.
A starry sky. All right. Take us away.
3, 2, 1, click. All right, Zach, let's see how you can do this whole family movie thing.
For a second I thought they were making a solid Superman theme there.
Oh my god, it did sound a bit like it in the story.
Actually, who did the score of this?
The composer was David Hirschfielder.
Huh.
I don't know who that
Let's
is.
see. Okay, Warner Brothers landed the rights to the Owls of Cthulhu's 7-book series by Catherine Lasky in June 2005 and hopes to launch an animated franchise. WD's resident director of Zack Snyder was tapped to helm this kid's property in April 2008.
All right, this is our main character. I don't remember his name.
Soren, I think.
So, okay, guys. So, apparently this film was in the works for half of a decade.
Clear. That's the classic Zack Snyder slow-mo shot right there.
He's doing slow-mo even in his animated movies.
All right, so, okay, the first thing you'll immediately notice, and that's the one consistently good thing about this movie, is the visual fidelity. The visual fidelity is pretty stunning, especially considering the year that it came out. I mean, nowadays you can see this kind of fidelity even in Pixar movies.
Sorry, Tio, gotta remember that owls are predators.
It's kill or be killed, I know.
Like when you take a look at the cat in Toy Story 4, for example, that cat looks fantastically believable as a real cat. But Zack Snyder was apparently 10 years ahead of his time when it comes to animation because, this looks pretty good.
From what I understand, this movie has quite an interesting cast. It has flippin' Sam Neill, of all people, in
Sam
it.
Neill really needs a better agent.
Oh yeah, never mind. That one line was the father of but the protagonist is this guy here.
Also, Dwibs, good news. One of England's best is in this. Dame Helen Lydia Mirren.
Oh.
You remember from Fast and Furious?
And the Queen.
Which queen?
Okay, I will say this about the animation. I like the character models, but I get what they try to do in making them more expressive, but the fact that they're moving their eyes is just so unsettling.
Well, I think they're trying to actually...
That's what Jon Favreau was afraid of when he was making the facial animations for the Lion King remake.
What, actually showing character? Huh.
I think maybe what they're trying to do is they're actually trying to have the eyes actually act like the eyes of an owl actually act like. I don't know.
Or more do the DreamWorks thing and resemble what the actor that's voicing the character resembles.
I will give them credit. They look fine enough while also exhibiting character. Speaking of characters, let's see. On our cast list, we have, like I mentioned before, Helen Mirren. In addition, we have Jeffrey Rush, Jim Sturgis, Hugo Weaving. Oh, goody.
What is he doing here?
Emily Barclay, holy cow. Ryan Quanten, Anthony LaPaglia, Miriam Margoyles, David Wenham, Richard Roxburgh. Oh, and Barry Otto.
Oh,
That sounds like sounds like a cool story. Can we see that story instead then?
Maybe
So
this
what's the
is
story?
the story.
So what's the story we're gonna get in this one then?
From what I understand, the
if I had to,
story.
if I had to guess, the protagonist becoming one of these guardians.
Get it. You'll give her daymares because owls normally sleep in the day.
Get it?
Even though that's
Yeah,
not
clever. That's
even-
super clever, guys.
even though that's not really all the case with owls here and there. Like, there are owls who do come out during the day. Normally, owls just mainly come out at night because that's when their prey is out and about. I wonder if Dominic Noble has done a review of this.
Yeah, I'm actually curious about that too.
His thing is normally looking at adaptations of books.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So from what I understand, at least from what I understood of the trailers, the idea is that it's about a band of owls who are fighting against some
Evil
dark
owls.
forces.
Well, that's more so the backstory that he just told. Technically, we're just in a very typical family of owls, and we're just living life right now. But of course, you probably, if you know your formulaic storytelling, you probably already know that something's gonna happen that causes our main character to have to man up and do something.
Well, like I said, I was mainly going off of the trailer.
Oh yeah, well that's the thing. The trailer, I don't even remember how the trailers were, to be honest with you.
The trailers are literally the only thing I remember because I remember the hype to this movie, but as soon as it came out, nobody was really talking about it.
So, in terms of films that came out the same day this film did, around September 24th, 2010, its competition was also not exactly known to people when it came out. A film called You Again and Wall Street Money Never Sleeps.
I gotta say, 2010 was really an off time for movies.
The
I
first
mean, there
half,
were some good ones, but there was also The Last Airbender.
the second half, the second half got a little better, but yeah, it was kind of an off year.
How July pretty much started with Last Airbender.
Oh god.
So I actually do wonder, like, was this type of animation mocap in some kind of fashion, or was like genuine, pure?
I don't see how they would.
Well,
For face movement, I mean.
I've never seen any mention of during the film's production of anything to do with mocap. Well, again, mocap died the next year, so
I mean, face movement. That we just mocap the faces and plaster them on the character models.
I doubt it.
Oh,
oh boy, are we gonna see owl vomit?
that's part of her physiology, but I would agree with Reeves. I don't think we should watch that. Yeah, unfortunately, that's how it is.
So yeah, the TV tropes would agree with this film not exactly being something you'd expect from Zack Snyder playing against type.
Okay, that's nice, I guess, but is this important?
Don't you see? It's scientifically accurate.
I get it, but what does it have to do with anything?
I'm more concerned by the fact that a bunch of owls coexist with a snake. The thing that eats eggs.
I guess the snake is the friend.
Yeah, this is a vegetarian snake too.
This is like the animals of a far thing would.
Apparently, at least according to TV tropes, the main reason why many Zack Snyder fans even weren't interested in the movie?
Why?
It was animated.
Of course.
That is unfortunately a bit of a stigma. Animation sadly does not always seem to be given the best regard compared to live action.
Oh.
Like, believe it or not.
Okay, I can also see a lot of sequences where they wanted to push the 3D angle, where stuff gets thrown in your face.
Yeah, this was back when Hollywood was trying to force feed the 3D down our throats.
That's a big oof.
Thank you for that owl ass shot. I totally needed that.
Are the
I don't know.
about to die?
Why can't you just, fly back?
They actually did try to learn, but they're still, not expert.
So what exactly is going on right
Yeah,
now?
there you go.
He's learning to fly.
That's the thing. Well, Jova, we learned the backstory of the Guardians, and now we're just watching these two try to fly. Basically, that's basically what we're doing right now.
Oh, let me guess. These two are red shirts meant to show off how awesome the bad guys
Oh, I think
are.
one of them is our protagonist. Oh god. But is that a Tasmanian devil? So this is supposed to be set in Oceania?
But anyway, yeah, remember, Dwebs, like I've said in our Sucker Punch Generations commentary, like the typical audience that really loves Zack Snyder is the edgelord teens, you know. So,
And from what I understand, this is as far from edgelord as you can get when it comes to Zack Snyder.
well, there are some. Well, okay. To be fair, there are actually that particular
snap.
rat. Is it? That rat is actually quite scary looking for
I
an
think it's a
animated film.
Tasmanian. Yeah, there you go. It says
It
here
is
it's a Tasmanian devil.
Yeah,
Well,
apparently.
that devil is scary. That's the basic point that I'm trying to make.
Anyway, let's see.
Yeah, it's his Warner Bros. So Tasmanian devil.
Let's see. The budget for Legends of the Guardians, the Owls of Ga'Hoole, was $80 million after a huge 40% Australian tax rebate and WB and Village Roadshow financed.
What do these owls have in their beaks? They have
Horns.
on their beaks.
It's. I guess it's to. I guess it's to simulate a war ornament.
I guess, but it literally looks like it's natural to them. It doesn't look like it's something that got placed in
Like a piercing.
Weird. But yeah, now these owls came out of nowhere and they kidnapped them. So
Okay.
yay, I guess.
And he's dead.
Nope. He tried to escape, but it was not to be.
Also, I'm British.
Actually, I'm wondering if he's Australian.
Was the book British by any chance?
Let me check.
Well,
Wow.
again, I'm assuming I'm assuming he's going for Australian, considering how
The author, no, American, Catherine
Okay.
Lansky.
Well, yeah, the author's Australian, but it seems like they're going for Australian, going off of the credits to Australia in this movie, apparently.
No. So yeah, I guess we're already in getting the plot in motion, even though we don't know anything about our characters. But whatever.
Hold on, let's wait and see.
Ugh. Yeah, that's my reaction. Thank you.
That's a species.
Can
Oh,
you-
so I guess it is Australia.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it makes sense that we're in Australia since we did see a Tasmanian devil, so...
Yeah. Sure.
So from what I understand, the evil owls are kidnapping owls from all across to, I guess, work for
To
them.
use them, or I guess.
Apparently.
Welcome to Mordor, I guess.
Hey! I mean,
No,
apparently...
between this and that sequence in Sucker Punch, I really think Zack should actually produce a proper, genuine live-action fantasy movie for Warner Bros.
Pretty much, yeah.
You can put all these edgy, angsty there, might as well. Oof. Sure.
You mean kidnapped? Yeah.
Semantics. Oh.
Oh, great.
Oh.
Slavery.
A potential concentration. Remember again why this is supposed to be a kids movie?
I remember Zach apparently made this for his daughter. So
If it's true...
Oh, the pure ones, magnificent. Whoa. Whoa. Hello?
Oh, hey. Hey, look at that, Dwibs. Helen Mirren plays the queen here, too.
So we've got Bitch Owl, have we?
So it would seem. So...
Yeah, I know these characters have names, but at this point I'm just going to call them, like, insert the one character trait they have here, followed by the word owl. So we've got Bitch Owl, we've got Protagonist Owl.
Oh.
Pickers?
Oh, no.
Pickers?
What does that mean?
Well, I guess we'll have to find out.
You have to pick her nose for her because she can't do it herself.
Of course, you're just gonna stay behind. Oh.
Oh...
Betrayal.
Oh, gee, the dick robber turned out to be a dick.
Well, I think it's more so he's scared or something.
No, he's a coward. He's a coward, and one would try to show up. Remember, they showed at the beginning where he said, "Oh no, I can fly better," and he fucked up. Oof. Oh.
A blind owl.
Moon.
Could you please could you please not scream in my ears? Jesus Christ, dude.
With the close-ups too.
Ugh.
I wonder who voices that owl. Let's see.
Sound carries through the air. You don't need to get right near my ear so I can hear you, okay? Come on. Let's try and do this properly.
Oh.
Yeah, he just said that.
Mm.
Moon blink us?
Hold on.
Huh.
So there's some mysticism going on, like in Secret of Nim.
Apparently
So
using the moon.
So the moon gives you amnesia? Like,
You know, this reminds me of.
What?
There was a behind-the-scenes documentary of the making of How to Train Your Dragon, and one particular bit that I remember was when they had the original script, they got notes back from Jeffrey Katzenberg saying that, yeah, a great ending, but where's the story that comes along with it? Because apparently the story originally got buried in all sorts of mythology stuff, so they rewrote it to push the story more to the front.
Oh,
Whereas
okay.
here I get the feeling that this
The
film
opposite.
needs the Jeffrey Katzenberg of its own.
I see what you mean. Like, I mean, it feels like the story is throwing a lot of stuff at us without properly explaining it.
I get
and then
the
the
idea,
explanations that we hold on, let me finish.
Sorry.
And then the explanations that we do get are like drive-by passing, like, oh, by the way, this is what moon blinking is.
Ah,
Oh.
Okay, that is genuinely creepy.
Okay, I do wonder if it's a reference to the Dark Crystal.
does
I
Warner
think
Brothers
it's-
even known that one?
It's basically this. There's a lot of world. The most of the focus of the script right now seems to be on world building. And don't get me wrong, world building is great and all, but we also need to flesh out the characters and provide proper story themes. Right now, it just seems like it's just here to establish the world, and that's all.
There's also the fact that apparently the original book series was like 15 volumes at this point, and they tried to announce several at the same time.
Oh, gee,
So it's like the Black Cauldron.
because that's not a recipe for disaster or anything. Let's try to adapt the
Oh
entire
boy,
season.
hierarchy.
Let's try to adapt the entire first season of Avatar into a 90-minute movie. I'm sure nothing could go wrong with that plan.
And it
Oh my-
released the same year.
Are we seriously having an owl Nazi cult?
Yes.
You see, guys. I wanted to make a movie that I could share with my daughter. You see, this is exactly the kind of thing that I think of when I think of great entertainment.
Oh my
for-
god, Pedro, you know what's funny? M. Night Shyamalan also made Last Airbender for his daughter's sake because his daughter was such a fan.
It looks like only Scorsese is good at doing this whole. Okay, now I'll make a movie for my family to enjoy for a change thing.
Wait, this film only had well, actually, the film started production in February 2009, but it was like 3 years before.
That's all.
Like I said, technically this movie's been in the works since 2005 because that's when Warner Brothers bought the rights for the 7-book series here and there.
Oh, apparently Sam Neill's character. Apparently Sam Neill was a replacement for Hugh Jackman.
Oh. Definitely Australian. What?
Well, actually, Jover, Sam Neill's from New Zealand.
No. I was talking about Hugh Jackman. He's Australian.
Magnets?
I don't.
Sam Neill is from New Zealand.
What?
Oh.
So
Hi,
what,
Batman.
Is the Dementor coming to suck his soul?
It's a bad dreams.
Well, that happened.
I guess the bats are also part of the system.
I guess.
Ugh.
Oof.
Apparently, they wanted to make more films like this to complete the whole series, but
Oh
bombed,
boy.
bombed.
Never mind the fact that this movie apparently is already cramming the first couple of books already into just a short movie. But
Wait. Do we know that for sure that they're cramming details from all the books?
Something along those lines.
That's because the thing. Oh god, the thing I read, Joe, is that, for example, there are characters from book 4 that shows up already here.
I see. Well, okay, that's not necessarily a sign that they, well, okay, yeah, that probably is a sign that they were planning to do sequels. However, I guess adding in characters from future books isn't automatically bad. Again, I'll admit, I'm a bit more blind in this because, I have not read the book, so I don't know how much of a good or bad thing that is.
Sure. Neither do we. Like, as a complete outsider who knows nothing about the source material, and I do mean nothing, so far I just find this movie to be pretty to look at, but there's not really a lot else to admire.
I'm more confused than anything. I mean, okay, I get some details here and there, but the movie feels like it's racing to the finish line. Like, seriously, we're only 20 minutes in, and it feels like we've already been, bludgeoned with a lot of plot details.
Mm-hmm.
Like, apparently, these two decided to go off flying, but then they got caught away from their parents, and now they're
in a concentration camp.
Hell, okay, here. Let me use Lion King 1 as an example. Like, way before Simba leaves the Pride Lands, we have an entire first third establishing Simba and his relationship with his father and all that kind of stuff.
As how the circle of life works and the hierarchy. And we got a good showing of, how the ceremony with the newborn works in there. Like, pretty much by the time, conflict really hits, we know everything we need to.
Whereas this movie just kind of rushed right into the primary conflict without actually, setting up anything.
Oh. So apparently this guy is secretly a good guy.
Of course we did.
They attacked this family. Great.
So is this one...
Wow, and his reaction to all this is, oh well, I guess they took my family. Okay.
But don't you see, they can help him get back at them or something.
Your power skills. What is this? A video game? You have
Actually,
to unlock
they,
power
they,
skills in your skill tree. Like,
actually, they did a video game adaptation. Let me check actually who published it.
was it like a mobile game or an actual proper
No,
console game?
full console. Nintendo DS, PS3, Wii, and Xbox 360. I'm sorry. Developed by Chrome Studios, the guy who did the Tasmanian Tiger.
Huh.
It's weird. I've never seen these cover in a video game store. Not even like kegs for cheaper.
Oh, so even though she considers herself queen, she's apparently only the second in command to...
She did mention it in her introduction.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why proclaim yourself queen then if you're... Well, okay, I guess to be fair, queens are sometimes second in command to kings and all that.
Keep in mind, I'm not entirely sure if what I'm about to say is true, because I don't remember all that much from this movie, really. But based on the formula that we've gone with so far, I get the feeling they're the two brothers are gonna have to fight each other because I got that vibe from the beginning. The fact that there was some rivalry, and now the brother seems to be determined to become the soldier figure.
During the slow-mo stick in live action is one thing, but in animation,
yes,
just kind of feels like all you're doing is pressing the slow-mo button.
But
let's see if he will catch the golden snitch. Sorry, I mean the bluebird.
It's a technique similar to what the documentaries actually do, because I will actually fly really fast.
Oh, and look at that. Clud is impressing Mira.
Very good. You have the same evil soul that Scar... Oh, wait, sorry. Wrong movie.
Also, you can tell this guy is evil because he has a scar.
You probably could have phrased that better, Mrs. Screenwriter.
I mean, to be fair, lame does mean, broken and, might have a broken leg, a broken wing or whatnot.
Or a broken spirit.
Yeah.
Or broken box office.
Okay, speaking of which, let's talk about the money this movie made, or lack thereof.
It actually got close to making double its budget, but no cigar.
In terms of the actual specifics, let's see here. Domestic release with $50 million marketing blitz. So add that on, and yeah. Despite the aggressive ad push, tracking was pointing to a soft $20 million opening. Ouch. Reviews were mixed and it disappointed with $16 million, $112,211, placing number 2 for the slow weekend, led by Wall Street 2. Oh, ouch. Let's see. It closed its run with a franchise ending at $55,675,313. Overseas, the film did fare a bit... What?
Leave! Can't you see I'm the good guy? I'm the secret good guy that actually is going to get killed for trying to defy the rulers?
The Obi-Wan.
Pretty much.
Not just that. Okay, this guy being a nice guy with a tragic backstory and everything just kind of came out of nowhere. And it's just...
Not just that. Now he's already supposed to be killed, I guess. I get what Pedro was meaning. This movie is going really on fast pilot.
Normally the idea with a character like this is to, wait for, maybe the end of a second act at most to kill him off.
And we're already almost 40 minutes into this 90-minute movie, guys.
Seriously, what are you waiting for?
Hold on. Let me guess. Claudia's gonna become Kylo Ren.
I am home.
Guys, Kylo Ren before Kylo Ren was a thing.
5 years before.
Kylo Ren? I don't know.
Yes.
Oh.
But yeah, it's like, okay, this is the problem. Yeah. Okay, there's the plot is going on fast forward.
Jesus
And
Christ! Like even
bec- And
even
because of that, let me just finish. And because of that, the movie never actually, slows down to have the characters, reflect on things and allow the audience to absorb what is happening.
And it's not like a movie. It's not like, say, Die Hard 3 that we watched recently, where the audience and the characters not getting a chance to breathe was the whole point.
Yes, Jova?
like I mean, even with Aragon, for as many problems as that adaptation had, at least they waited for a good moment of time to kill Brom. Even though he wasn't supposed to die in the first story, they at least waited until a proper moment.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no, Grimble!
Remind me again, was Watchmen really that big of a box office success? Because I'm still wondering why Warner Brothers was so kind in giving Zack Snyder the reins to so many high budget films.
Let me see.
I mean, because for a long time,
actually not much. Budget 138 million, revenue 185.3 million.
So no, it wasn't a box office success.
Oh, Zack must have had some really big friends in the Warner Brothers executive board.
Or you really impressed them.
Well, Peter, the thing is that film was one of those rare multi-studio films. It was Warner Brothers and Paramount.
One thing to consider is that apparently it was I think it was a critical darling at the time, and this might have been one of those cases where they did count it as a financial success based off of how much the marketing cost of the movie.
Well, I guess we escaped. Okay, we're good. I guess that's the end of the movie. Okay, that was Legend of the Guardians, the Owls of Ga'Hoole, everybody.
Or I guess the first act.
Pedro, don't you know your typical hero's journey? It's after the hero escapes that suddenly they have to now train to become more awesome so that eventually they can make a comeback. Now, granted, normally this story would be spread across, several different installments here and there, but hey, we're rushing as is. Might as well get to it while we're here.
It's a musical moment.
Yeah, that for a moment looked like an ending shot right there. Like, seriously.
But anyway. So when are we going to get to the actual...
Gotta love how the brother became Kylo Ren, like, in the snap of a finger. Like, seriously, there was literally no transition.
So what?
The brother. I get that the brother was kind of a dick at first, but there's one difference between being kind of a dick and then going full red on our asses.
I don't know. He had already shown the fact that he ignored the plea of his brother during the the roundup.
I think here's here's a better. Wait, why are you asking him to be one of you? He already pretty much stated that he is home, so.
Oh no.
You're selling out your sister to be taken in as well. Okay.
Wow, you have absolutely no kind of empathy or honor, do you, dude? Like, seriously, why are you even doing that?
Here's my question. Does he even care about how his parents might worry? Does he even care about, his family or whatnot?
No, there's the thing, Joe, that the initial scene showcased the fact that the parents seem to care more about Soren than him.
Well,
so he has that jealousy going on.
I would be able to buy that if the movie actually showed us more of the parents doing that at the beginning. But no, this movie goes by so fast; it's hard to even absorb anything.
Yeah. Oh, cool! A digger owl. So when are we gonna get to the whole Guardians of? The Guardians or
they're actually searching them. Remember that the old owl told them to look for them.
Neat.
Yeah. So basically, now we're looking for Master Yoda.
Oh wait, I get it. Kulamir, Ga'Hoole, hoo.
Yeah, that's the pun, Drover. Okay, stop with the close-ups, please.
I guess this is supposed
Zach
to be.
wants you to notice how amazing the models look too.
Oh, I'm grateful for that. It's
Look
just
how
you don't-
detailed the feathers are.
Ah,
I
of
guess
course, his name's
I
Digger.
guess it really is like a penis. Like I can respect the accomplishment, just don't throw that in my face. Well,
Was that supposed to be a dig at J.J. Abrams?
How so? I think I failed to realize your the
Because of the
logic
series Lost. Oh, hey, the
Oh,
snake!
it's
Don't
a
you mean,
snake.
Pedro? Pedro, don't you mean how so?
there. Go to the corner, Dwips.
Hey, look,
Word
there's
in
the
the
snake.
Oh, hi, Snake. How did you get here?
it
Well,
got caught by the other owl.
yeah.
That one.
Huh. Even though that doesn't make a lick of sense, but just roll with it, dude.
Early 20s, voiced by Anthony LaPaglia. Oh, you're Australian too. Oh,
That's nice, I
Okay.
guess.
You know, for a movie
It's
called
like-
Legend of the Guardians, I kind of expected there to be more action.
Yeah. Especially considering this is
I mean,
Zack
I wouldn't mind them doing a more, thingy, drama-made film, not an actiony thing, but
Maybe
It's
the
not-
idea, maybe the idea is that the Guardians aren't supposed to be the focus, despite
You
them,
know-
being in the title. But
maybe. Sorry.
I don't know. I feel like maybe time that's spent on these jokes could be better spent as time for us getting to get to the
Yeah.
Guardians and whatnot.
Maybe that's the actual proof of the fact that Zack Snyder needs to have super long movies, otherwise he can't squeeze in the character development.
Actually, I wonder, was he executively mandated to have the movie this short?
Not that not that I know of. I don't know, Tail. Batman v Superman Ultimate Edition has 3 hours, and yet it didn't fix anything. But
I didn't mean that. I mean the fact that, but whatever.
it's okay. Okay. See, even when the movie does technically slow down to have the characters just talk, like it's just dumb jokes, like Jova said. Like it's just
Maybe we'll get something better eventually, but like I said, I find myself either befuddled, confused, or bored so far in this movie.
Okay, I'm actually very curious. What are the Nazi owls doing with magnets?
Don't worry, Tail. I'm sure it will be explained in the sequel. That will never come.
So I guess I should. A bit of a nitpick, I guess, is like, what kind of setting are we in? Like, okay, I guess we can infer that we're in Australia, but is it supposed to be like, a modern setting, or we're just conveniently never interact with humans?
I think it's not important because the technology that the owls seem to be on their own instead of borrowing from humans.
Tested and pure, huh?
Remember, they went through the training.
Very quick training because we only have 90 minutes to go for the story. So
So who plays the king here?
Oh. I think it's Joe Egerton. as Metal Beak.
Get it? Beak.
Damn.
And that was it, I guess.
Intimidating.
Oh, it was, get this, Joe.
Yeah.
Joel Egerton. He's young Uncle Owen from the Star Wars prequels.
Huh, how about that? Neat.
I don't recognize any other major roles that he was in.
I guess if I can give this movie one credit, it is nice to see all these different owl designs.
Yeah, they're actually based on
Wow.
real existing species.
Okay, no one told me this is a musical.
It's not. I get the idea that Zack wants to go for an epic fantasy, like a la Lord of the Rings, and this is supposed to be the Bard character. Well,
Yeah.
Ha! What a hoot.
oh, they took the loot.
I don't give a hoot.
I actually agree. Can we just let him keep him? Let him keep it, sorry.
No, after them. We need
It
an
has
action.
sentimental value.
We finally get an action scene. All right, fine.
Alright, this better be a great action scene.
Oh, there's also the snake in it, so...
Boy, crows are dicks.
Hopefully.
Woo!
Oh, it's the festival special.
Okay, that's pretty neat. Kind of a missed opportunity that they didn't get Hugh Jackman in this.
Yeah, that's surprising considering Hugh Jackman is one of the more famous Australian actors.
Maybe he was busy with something.
Oh, wait.
2011 or 2010?
He would have been busy with X-Men Origins Wolverine around this time. Oh, dear. You know, I'm gonna say it. This probably would have been a better movie to be in than X-Men Origins Wolverine. I mean, don't get me wrong. This movie is not exactly earning my favor, but it is still not as near as an incoherent mess that Origins Wolverine was.
No, this movie's just really just kind of there. Like, seriously, this movie is basically the kind of movie you put up to shut up your kids for 90 minutes.
It's literally
I'm not even
eye-candy.
sure
Yeah,
about
they
that.
shut up because they'd be falling asleep.
Well, not
Oh,
so much.
the kid now. Knuckles, what are you doing here?
Oh, yeah.
Well, I'm learning a lot about real-life versions of Sonic animals here.
Yes.
Was there a character? Well, yeah, there was that owl character in the OVA.
Yeah.
And
And
there's
the new Sonic film, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Although the owl in that one was a more proportionally realistic owl, much like the owls in this movie, actually. Yeah.
Well, it's a bit weird though. You have a realistic cow and yet an unrealistic hedgehog.
To be fair, she kind of borders on mystical / realistic, so pass on that.
Not to mention it's a different dimension. It doesn't have to work logically like ours does.
Yeah. Let's see who plays this echidna.
Never go outside those stars. Oh, if only you knew that it's impossible for you to even get to those stars. Poor owls.
Who voices the echidna? Jeffrey Rush.
Barry Otto.
Oh.
Oh yeah, Jeffrey Rush is in this one. Let's see who he plays.
The villain, maybe? I don't know.
No, the villain is played by Joel Edgerton, like I said.
Jeffrey Rush plays someone known as the Lies of Kyo or Israelbib. Israelib.
Whatever.
As sad as it, this is a more dignified film for him to play a wise guy than Gods of Egypt.
You're telling me.
I don't know, this Echidna is literally just there to exposition about the composition of the team.
He's like the Rafiki.
I get the idea, like he's foretelling the prophecy, you know, probably, but he's gonna play in the climax and everything, but it's a bit janky. Okay, moving on.
Go ahead, and you're the chosen ones.
By the way, what did we learn from you?
You've learned more lore.
Actually, where to go.
We've
because
learned
he
that
told
we're
them where to
halfway
go.
there.
Halfway there, halfway there.
Wah, wah.
And you got this. Actually, no, these are different characters.
No. Those are the same characters, Dwibs.
All right, if I remember
Wait,
correctly,
it immediately cuts to them getting lost in a sudden blizzard.
yes, it's because the editing, because good editing is for losers.
Also, Smash Cut lives.
Also, I
But,
gotta say, this is the brightest Zack Snyder film I've ever seen.
Yeah, that is true.
Uh-oh. Oh. Shit.
Remember, this is him trying this whole, family-friendly thing.
You know, I actually do appreciate when a director does try, or a maker of media in general, does
Whoa.
try to do something different, like when Martin Scorsese made Hugo,
I
or
will.
when Doug Langdale made The Weekenders.
This is the scene from the trailers that we're about to see, if I remember correctly.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Oh, it's one of the Guardians.
Yeah, there you go. And if I remember correctly, it's during this sequence that we're gonna get that shot that they used all the time in the trailers. I actually do remember that bit at least.
Depends on which trailer, but well, let's see. Oh yeah, I remember this scene from the trailer.
Also, what's that mask you're wearing?
Well, we found the Guardians apparently.
It's an helmet, Dwibs. Remember, this movie is using
Oh,
the
Oh,
epic
okay.
fantasy. There you go. Also, where talons are covered.
Never mind. It's for later. Then go ahead.
This movie is using that like fantasy logic. The animals are wearing ornaments similar to the humans.
Alright, so we're about halfway through this movie and we finally have come across the Guardians. Cool.
I'm gonna take a wild guess and say that before the climax, these five tell them the danger, and the Guardians are like, we should do something. Should we do something?
Oh god, that's gonna be most of the debate for the film, isn't it?
And they'll be like, nah, they'll do it on their own. It is as the prophecy
Wait.
foretold.
What is
Whoa.
this? What's the monkey tree from Dinosaur doing here?
Lemur Jova.
Lemurs. But don't you know,
what from-
Mateo, he advertised himself as the love monkey.
The monkey tree from what, Jover, sorry?
Dinosaur.
Oh, right, yeah, Dinosaur. It was a decent movie.
Wow.
I had to rewatch it, like I said.
I haven't seen it since the year it came out.
I like that
2000,
movie.
so you haven't seen it in 20 years.
Yep.
Wow.
Me neither, actually, so...
The Lost Boys hideout looks beautiful.
I know, right?
Which Lost Boys hideout?
All of them.
Any. To be
Well,
fair, Pedro.
in terms of hideouts, it's at least more discreet than the one in Pan.
To be fair, Jova, didn't the original one in Hook was told to be destroyed?
Yes. I'm also
Seriously,
referencing
the hideout
one
in Pan, you can barely even count it as a hideout.
Okay, so can someone? Thank you for that. Another beautiful owl ass shot.
Come on, Pedro. We have to let our owl enthusiasts get something. For as creepy as that is.
Zach, I seriously doubt that's a very profitable demographic.
Yeah, imagine that. Imagine trying to advertise that. Welcome to my movie, The Legend of the Guardians. The owls are cool. Perfect for owl lovers.
There's Jeffrey Rush.
Yeah, definitely Jeffrey Rush.
Again, to give them credit, they did seem like they actually did study the mannerisms of each of the owls, and they seem properly accurate, while also being able to show off good character here and there.
Yeah, the animators, the talent of the animators feel like it would have been better spent as one of those documentaries, like Teo said, because, you know, as a story, it's just...
It's nothing awful, but
No, it's just there. It's like it's inoffensive, but it's just so
it's
vanilla.
just not very interesting.
Oh no! What exactly is the owl world in context?
It's okay. All we have to do is wait for a human hunter to shoot all of them, and there you go.
I get
Problem
it.
solved.
Okay. This is why I bring up, do humans exist in this world? I bring this up because it sort of reminds me of the Warriors book series. What is Warriors? Essentially, Warriors is a book series about, well, a bunch of cats, be they house cats or wild cats, who pretty much have these different clans out in the wilderness here and there. The reason humans existed, though, is because humans could occasionally affect the terrain to the point where all four clans had to band together and actually move away because humans were bulldozing the environment here and there. Like, maybe it's a minor detail, but it would be interesting to know if this is like an actual fantastical setting or just something fantastical to the owls that is still happening in a real setting.
Wow, we're just about coming up to halfway through the movie, and so far, all I've gotten is there's a bunch of owls. They escaped from evil, and now they're doing something.
Well, we have to form a resistance to take down the evil owl bitch, as you named her.
Yeah, bitch owl.
Bitch owl. Because, you know, because great justice.
Because we are evil owl Nazis.
They're literally called the pure ones.
It actually does remind me a bit also of, with that kind of praise, it does remind me a bit of Faraday.
I love it. You don't just become a guardian overnight. It's done in years. Why do I get
Is that going to be the punchline? We become guardians overnight.
Weather interpretation.
Not catering.
Out to
Oh, to Lisa.
Is she gonna be a love interest?
Abby Cornish. Let's see.
I get actually, just based on that reaction shot from her, I think the little owl is the one that's going to be the love interest.
Oh, she was Murphy's, I think, wife, or well, she was Clara Murphy in the 2014 RoboCop reboot.
Oh, joy. Also, she's another
Well, I
Australian...
mean, it was better than RoboCop 3.
Let's see. Okay, so Abby Cornish is an Australian actress and rapper, yo.
Which is weird because this owl looks so tiny compared to Soren.
I don't know if
Which
she'll
one?
be...
The one close to him?
The one close to him, like I get it, they're different species.
Yeah, elf owls are actually small.
Okay.
Oh yeah, yeah, she was a sucker punch.
Oh, really?
Oh,
We need
a
a pop
music
song
number.
now?
Now pops.
How the hell do owls make weapons? And man, that like it.
Oh,
They
hey.
didn't hold the weapons.
They don't have thumbs. How does that work?
Well,
Well, Pedro, maybe they can make a weapon made for the
Okay,
fact that they have no
Zach,
thumbs.
what is your fascination with owl ass in this movie?
that is for... That is
There you go,
for...
that's divination.
That is 4 owl rears we've seen in this.
No, I really don't. There you go, that's how they
Oh,
hold
so
them.
this song is literally called Chase Your Dreams, huh?
I'm sorry. Like, I get that Zack Snyder is fixating to inserting popular pop songs into his movies, but this is just unfitting with the tone.
Like, seriously, we've been going for this fantastical setting, then out of nowhere, pop song.
I mean, there have been films in the past where they have pop songs during fantastical settings.
Like, don't get me wrong, I may get the idea. We have stuff like, say, Neverending Story, which has a song that's chock full of 80s for, a full-on fantasy setting. So I can get the thought process. It's just that this one just doesn't work. Oof.
Oh,
There
what
sure
is it?
is a lot-
Bastard for a second.
There sure is a lot of pointless bickering in this movie.
So, from what I understand, this movie was supposed to be the big Australian representation film of the year, given the cast and whatnot.
Yeah, well, so was Happy Feet and Happy Feet 2.
Well, Happy Feet actually was... Wait. Happy Feet was supposed to be Australian representation?
Yes.
Wasn't that
Really?
one directed by George Miller, I think?
Yes.
Well,
Yeah.
okay. The director was Australian, yeah, but the cast, the cast were American.
It was a co-production between the US and Australia, and it was made at an Australian animation studio.
Well, I guess to give credit to Happy Feet, that was actually a better movie. Far
Well, Happy Feet
better.
too.
Oh.
Happy Feet 2 was weak.
From what I can tell, George Miller seems to be a very on and off guy. He either makes a giant hit or
Oh,
To
so
that-
Thunderdome.
so apparently...
We will conquer the world. Don't worry about those pesky humans with their guns. I'm sure there will not be any threat whatsoever.
Yeah, it is kind of like validating that way.
So apparently Metalbeak here was clawed up badly in the face by Jeffrey Rush's character.
That's nice to know. I
Oh,
guess.
pure ones.
And that-
We're pure out. What is this? What? An owl crossbreed with something? That sounds gross.
No, remember, we're going for a Nazi parallel. Again, the term pure ones has been established as soon as we got here.
Actually,
Yeah,
that... Hey, yeah, where are your mom and dad anyway?
maybe they
Yeah,
got
it's
off
like-
screen, I don't know.
Oh, great, my favorite.
Forget about your brother. Oh god,
Oh,
you are drinking
great,
the
he's-
Kool-Aid.
He's lusting over the queen. Fantastic.
I would hope that's not what that was implying, and I thought that was just him drinking the Kool-Aid, but I digress.
I just...
Oh my god!
Oh
he's
no,
actually...
they're seriously gonna do that with a child character.
Not only that,
Okay.
his little
Zack,
sister...
movie for kids, remember that?
Zach, you just can't help yourself, can you, Zach? Like, seriously, why even in this you have to insert something so mean-spirited? Like, seriously. Ugh, God.
Look, I'm normally dig into the dark stuff, but there's one kind of rule that I adopted over the years is that to try to harm less possible child characters.
I mean, it's not that you can't do that in movies. Period. No,
I honestly, over the years I've seen it. It's very hard to pull off
It
effectively.
is. Oh, it is. It is. I'm not kidding. Like movies like Schindler's List or Oliver Stone movies. Like there have been movies that I've mentioned. Like again, it takes a very talented filmmaker to pull it off. And Zack Snyder is definitely not on that level.
Did we just let Geoffrey Rush into the record booth and say whatever he wanted and then just put it in the movie?
Well,
pretty.
most times it tends to work with Jeffrey Rush.
Well, I mean, like I said, it's more dignified here than whatever the hell he was dressed up as in Gods of Egypt.
I agree.
Very good. Very good. This is me if I was the Warner Bros. Producer. Very good, Zach. This animation effects reel looks really good. Where's the movie now?
This is the movie, sir.
Where's the plot, Zach?
I just showed you the plot.
Oh, I think it's now. Yeah.
Whoa, God.
This is the shot that was used in the trailers. Yeah. Again, and to be fair, this looks gorgeous. I will not in any way deny that. This looks gorgeous. Definitely.
I mean, I guess it helps also that the movie is finally, and I do mean finally slowing down a bit so that we do have time to actually, calculate what's going on.
Okay. This is my first time watching it in 10 years. No, this is even better. No, this looks visually amazing, I have to admit.
It does.
Jesus.
For 2010, mind you.
Like I said, it was good enough for me to mistake it for a live-action / CGI hybrid.
Oh.
Careful.
Shoot.
See, now that the movie's finally slowing down and giving me time to actually register what's going on, now it seems like it has a semblance of a plot. The problem is that it only started slowing down like at the halfway mark.
Not just that, Jova. Like, look at this. Like, the characters have now done this super condensed montage training at the Guardians base,
Uh-huh.
And, well, I had to agree, it could have, taken a bit more space, in the movie. Again, honestly, what is this? 1 hour and 36 minutes? This should have been 2 hours at the very least.
It should have been. Also, by the way, Lord Alamy here, the leader of the Guardians, I guess, or at least of a squadron, is played by our good old pal Sam Neill.
Remind me again, what year was Jurassic Park 3?
2001.
Yeah.
Oh, 9 years before this. Okay.
At this point in his career was pretty much just, get whatever he could, pretty much.
But yeah, I can definitely see why the marketing team used that shot so much in the marketing. Yeah, that's the best way to sell the movies by showing that. Yeah.
Again, let it not be said, this movie does look pretty gorgeous, all things considered.
Oh, it does. No, like I've and I even
Yeah,
said
by
it, so.
2010 standards, it looks amazing.
Uh-oh. Decoys.
Oh, snap. Okay, that's actually pretty clever.
Oh.
Oh.
That's what the magnets were for.
Interesting.
It's just a shame
To stop the ghosts from...
Okay. Let me put it like this. If the movie went with this mentality from the start, I probably would have had an easier time understanding and enjoying it. And like Tio said, give this movie some more runtime. Like, jeez. I do not get why a lot of adaptations have this fetish. Like, at this point, it feels like a fetish of going around the 90-minute mark or something, like, especially on the first entry, which is crucial and needs a lot of info here and there. Like, let your movies be 2 hours or heck even longer if you need it to be. I'm not asking for like 3 or 4 hours long, but at least 2 and maybe 2.5 hours.
I actually wonder, what's the longest family movie ever?
I don't know. But
as for the longest movie ever, let me see.
I don't know, but okay, yeah, it's exactly what I've been saying. Because of the short runtime, the movie could not allow itself to breathe for most of it. They have to, rush, and now finally we got to this point. Now we can slow down a bit finally, but again, it's a bit too late by this point because we're 2/3 into this thing.
Well, in terms of animated films that last the longest one is the Haruhi Suzumiya movie. That's like 162 minutes.
I mean, I get that. I get the thematic. It's a typical, like Jova said, it's a classic hero's journey story, and that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But if you're gonna make a classic hero's journey, a hero's journey is only as good as the hero himself. And our hero is not exactly all that interesting of a character. He's just kind of a blank slate. He's just he's standing there listening to the other characters spot out exposition.
Let's see. Let's see. As far as the longest movie ever, that would be Logistics. It is 51,420 minutes long. That's 857 hours, or 35 days and 17 hours long.
You guys fancy that?
No, thank you.
A movie that is 35 days and 17 hours long. Imagine.
Hell, the Snyder Cut is going to be divided into 4 1-hour bits, so...
Why did that... Hey, Paige, that would put Peter Jackson's movies into perspective, wouldn't it? A film that lasts over a month.
Okay, Zack Snyder is not the first person who's doing that. Quentin Tarantino's extended version of The Hateful Eight is also getting pretty much, released as several hour-long shorts on Netflix.
That's the thing. There's I'll even give Peter Jackson this compared to something like Revenge of the Fallen, which to me feels like it takes a month.
Oh God! Imagine that page of Michael Bay stretched the film out so long it actually lasts.
It's a
as one
terrible
movie.
pickup line, Soren.
That sounds like your worst nightmare.
I'll give Zack Snyder this. He has his slow-mo weirdness here,
Oh.
but at least he didn't do the entire climax in slow-mo.
Oh god, they
Oh,
actually did it. Zack, for fuck's sake.
Who was that again?
His
The-
sister.
The little sister.
His little sister that the evil brother, aka Kyle ran, as Theo just so eloquently nicknamed him.
Yeah, honestly,
Um,
I don't even really care either way.
Neither do I, don't worry. Again, it
I
was
feel nothing.
That's even worse, Libs, because again, the child character was supposed to be a tool for emotional distress, and it didn't even work.
no, because again, in order for this to work, you have to actually establish the relationship Soren has with his sister, which they did.
So again, it's even worse.
I guess the quote-unquote relationship development moment was that moment at the beginning where she's vomiting, but I don't really count that as character development. That's just disgusting. Sorry.
At
Alright, it's
best,
time to go to war, I guess.
at best,
Family picture.
at best, what happened to the little sister was
Yay.
shock value.
Again,
So,
okay.
I get it, Zach. Just do a proper fantasy movie already.
Okay, yeah, it seems like these do look awesome, especially with the armor that they fasten for the owls.
I'm still baffled how the hell owls with no thumbs are able to create these things.
To be fair, there are several scenes where it shows them, adjusting them and using them properly.
Honestly, okay, honestly, owls making these, that's fine enough. I mean, if you're asking how they hold stuff, they're talons, and they pretty much
by
have
that
harnessed
logic,
fire and whatnot.
by that logic, any anthropomorphic animal, well, any animal that is not human-like, could not properly wield tools because they don't have opposable thumbs.
Sure.
Two arms!
God, I'm such a useless
Or
protagonist.
wings. Do we to wings, Jova?
They did set two arms, so it's a problem of the screenwriter, which in this case was not Zack himself, but two people, John Orloff and Emil Stern. Oh god, do we have to keep seeing it?
Well, Theo, this is the moment where you're supposed to feel sad. So.
Oh, I kinda do, but not probably for the intended reason.
Let me guess, you feel sad because you're shocked, because...
Not necessarily, Jova. Again, like I said, it's the thing that I really don't like when they try to do this thing to child characters.
I think what Theo means, Job, is that he feels sad, but not as in, sad because it's a sad moment, but because he feels sad that this Zack is resorting to this kind of manipulation.
I mean, keep in mind, if it was in the book, then sure, he just adapted it, doing his usual grimdark shit, stuff. So, okay. But I am starting to have doubts.
I wonder if maybe they'll find a way to break her out of it, and in turn they'll use that to free the other owls.
It's sad because the process of moon brinking is actually interesting on its own. Again,
So in that case, wouldn't you be blaming the author of the book then?
Yes, Dwebs, that was kind of implicit. But oh shit.
Okay, that was awesome.
But no, again, I get the vibes from different properties from this story, and one of them is Secret of Ming, which incorporates both technology and mystical magic aspect at the same time. So I can get behind what the owls are using. Oh.
Hey, she's okay now.
Oh. Fair enough. Although I would question how it can be reversed. I guess we didn't, blink her too much.
Yeah, from what I understand,
she was rescued before the process could be completed.
If I recall correctly, I think they hinted that it's sort of a remedial thing that they do every now and then to refresh it.
True.
Now, so Zack Snyder can say, you see, she's not dead. Now you can't accuse me of manipulating your emotions.
He's become one of them, Soren.
Oh dear.
Okay, Soren, you kind of saw your brother being a dick to multiple times. At this point, you should stop being in denial.
Cut your losses.
Oh, there we go. We're seeing how they were rescued.
Wait. Oh snap!
Oh.
Alamir's a traitor!
Shit.
Oh.
It's
So
a trap.
Wait. So once again, Sam Neill plays a surprise antagonist again?
Like in Event Horizon.
Jesus.
That's spoilers, guys.
Lives, you probably forget it by the time we get to the movie.
Yeah. Also, Event Horizon has been out for years on end. It's kind of
I
like...
actually
You
wish we
can't
got
watch
the
every movie. You know?
I actually wish we got the extended cut of that, but unfortunately it's not possible.
Oh,
Long story.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like when we
I'll tell you
couldn't
after
do
we're done with the
extended-
movie, Jova.
It's like when we couldn't do the extended Fast and Furious 8, even though that was like the one extended one that was actually properly.
Long
extended.
story short, Jova, for Event Horizon, the extended cut is literally unfoundable.
That's very nice, Zach. But can we try to have some kind of fight scene that takes place in regular motion?
Oh, snap. Yep. Alamir sold them out.
Oh, that's what
Unlimited power.
fucking magnets, how do they work?
I kind of wish Ian McDermott were here right now.
So now it's up to these ragtag band of
With the
misfits
glow.
to go and help them.
Feel the glow. I'm pretty sure that was a catchphrase for something in the 80s.
Probably for the power glow. Oh, it's like in Freddy's Dead, The Final Nightmare. You forgot the power glow! So the Guardians were decimated? Damn.
Maybe. Oh, maybe they're still in there.
It's
Oh,
a
yeah, I
shame.
bet they are.
It really is a shame that this movie's beauty is only skin deep. So we'll do it anyway.
Finish him! Inaudible screeching. No.
Actually, you know what? That'd be funny if they said, actually, you know what? Yes, that's far away.
Got an idea, Soren?
Let's Bambi this shit out.
What? Kill the mob?
No, use arson to our advantage. It's like that bit of a bridge. I think it's Yu-Gi-Oh! I got it! Arson!
You need to trust your gizzard.
That's, I guess, their term for heart. Gizzard is a poultry term, yes.
So it's like that song in the third Care Bears movie. You need to trust your heart. You need to trust your heart.
It's funny that one of the characters is named Twilight, given that this came out in 2010. Are they trying to make this a musical with Twilight?
No, like I said, Joe, we're trying to have Twilight being the bard character.
Pretty much.
Please stop.
Let's see, who plays Twilight? Oh yeah, like you mentioned, Anthony La Paglia.
Paglia.
Of course they don't.
So I'm afraid you have to die. Gee, maybe trusting the
I
clearly
lied.
evil Nancy Owl was a bad idea.
Let's drag him away so that kids don't have to show his gruesome fate.
But you show the gruesome fate of the little kid.
Yeah.
Yeah,
True.
but she
I mean,
wasn't.
granted, that wasn't the gruesome fate.
You know,
but
you know,
still.
you know, Zach. At this point, the whole kid-friendly thing has gone out the window. So at the very
Might as
least,
well go through
Hey,
crew.
but Pedro, it didn't actually happen. She's alive.
Okay,
Therefore,
okay.
it didn't happen.
To be fair, in terms of being kid friendly, there hasn't really been a speck of blood or anything, so yeah, pretty much still kid friendly. In order for it to be deemed unkid friendly, there'd have to be some gore or swearing.
Inside.
Okay, that's another awesome shot.
Mm-hmm.
Also
Again,
get it because Zack Snyder did the 300 movie, so we need the woman screaming in the background thing.
Show them who
Oh
Again,
man, I think 300 had its own controversy with the music.
Again, Zach, just become a cinematographer. You could do so well.
It's too much ego, Pedro. He will not be content to be just that.
Why can't people just, realize that they can't do everything?
I guess in a twisted way, it's because, well, we all have dreams and we think we're the best thing ever. Unfortunately, not always we are. We.
Yes.
No.
You will die.
Bombs away. Sumo explosion.
The lightning bolts are starting to remind me of the climax of BVS.
Maybe he took the effects from that to make this,
There we go.
from this to make that.
Oof.
Well done.
We're still having 20 minutes of this.
Which means we still need to have a proper fight scene.
Was it worth it?
Always.
Anyway, as for what a gizzard is, it's a muscular, thick-walled part of a bird's stomach for grinding food, typically with grit. So yeah, it's a bird organ.
It's basically it's kind of telling essentially trust your insides.
Uh-huh.
Also, fun fact, I looked in the meantime if the video game was available like on Amazon or for how much it costed. Any copy that I can find is actually unavailable. This game is super rare as fuck.
Jesus. I
Wait,
wonder if
did I blank out and miss them getting rid of the electricity?
I guess.
Wait, you missed it?
You actually
I
got
don't
me
think-
curious. Let me
I
see.
thought I blanked out for a second.
My country doesn't have it, and the only copy that I could find on Amazon UK actually is unavailable.
Mm. I'll see if
Oh,
I can find
yeah.
a pirated copy of it. Let's see.
Yay!
Well, you're obviously a boss character. So, who will take you down?
Well,
Themselves.
we do kind of need a fight between Soren and his brother. So, oof.
Again, another thing Zack Snyder is good at is choreographing fight scenes, and this one's no exception.
Well, is this really choreography though?
In a directing kind of way, I guess.
Yeah, in a directing kind of way. It helps that you can tell who's the good guy and who's the bad guy. The bad guys have the darker helmets here and there.
Mm-hmm. But there's also the fact, well, Jova, that one thing that I would have to admit, normally I'm actually good at, keep tracking on fantastical names that a fantasy setting is using, because one common criticism that I hear on the internet for a fantasy product in general is, oh, this product invents so many fancy words that are pointless. I normally tend to remember them. The names in this movie kind of are a bit, a bit hard even for me. Like some of
Yeah,
them
I
are
don't
more
blame you.
easy, like Twilight, for example, but others, probably it's because the movie is really that fast. Some of the names are a bit hard to memorize.
Also, like
Oh shit,
clockwork.
there's the brother rivalry boss fight.
Well, yeah, I mean, they already looked talent, so yeah. Don't.
Round 2.
Because Jeffrey Rush's character was the one who caught him in the first place.
Yeah.
We meet again, Obi-Wan. One way left, whatever.
So will we get to see what he looks like underneath that hood? To see
Probably.
his awfully scarred face.
Oof.
Oop. Again, I'll give him credit here. The weaponry on display is pretty creative and interesting
Yeah.
with how it works with owls. What this movie excels is definitely its visuals and music for the most part. Where it fails, unfortunately, is the story and, well, investment.
I mean, in general, well, okay.
Transition.
I'll mention this more in the. Oh, Jesus Christ, in the final thoughts.
Oh, snap. Wow, 2 against 1. That's not really fair. Again, you're drinking the Kool-Aid, bro.
Bonk.
Where did any of this come from?
The beginning, they did mention
No,
dialogue
no.
stuff.
No, I get that, but where did Clud's whole, hunger for power thing come from? Like, I get him being jealous, but as for that growing into him, well, wanting to murder his
Kylo
brother...
Ren.
Again. It's sort of like one of the issues I have with Monsters. It's like one of the issues I have with Monsters University. Yeah, it's nice to see how Randall started off, but there's nothing that really hints at how he suddenly became murderous towards Sully and Mike in the actual Monsters Incorporated thing. Like, and to give that movie credit, at
There you
least that
go,
was
Drama. The movie told you, Ben. You don't know him at all.
Screw you! The movie didn't tell us enough about you.
Never mind that. I barely know anybody.
Help me up, Soren! Even though I literally just tried to kill you!
Long live the owl.
Soren, I'm your brother! Again, even though I just tried to kill you!
Little truce, brother.
Long live the legends.
Oh, of course.
What a bitch.
He tried
There
to...
we go.
Wow, he
Couldn't
literally
just
got...
fly.
No.
Remember,
His wing
they
was
already
broken.
And we're both exhausted. Okay, I will say this. I will say this about our protagonist. Soren is way too goody for this movie.
Oh boy, but now Soren's pissed.
It's personal.
Yeah. I realize how fucking stupid I've been.
Now I'm finally going to do something, damn it!
In like the 14 minutes of film we have left.
Oh snap.
For 30 minutes.
Yes, my hero that I've only met for like a total of 15 minutes.
I mean, I'll give him credit. We've seen more interaction between him and this
And the
guy than
family.
him and his brother. Yep, you did the old villain mistake of enraging the hero. Always a mistake. Once you enrage
And
the
by
hero...
way,
Villainy.
here's my little secret. I killed Mufasa.
See, the difference between this and that is that as far as Scar was concerned, he had pretty much won, so I could get him being cocky. This guy, he's just being a dick and not a smart one.
So what are you gonna do now then?
I was gonna
Oh,
impale him
snap.
like that.
Impaled with...
Hot branch impalement.
So, that's the main bad guy dead, I guess.
Can we actually see the scars? No, guess
wha-
not.
So I guess now she'll get vengeance on... Oh,
Yeah,
no,
I guess
she's just running away.
These will be the tease for the sequel that will never happen.
Cute.
Oh, there's the helmet.
But we still don't see what his face looks like, seeing as how we talked about how his face was so clawed beyond belief
What
by
a
Jeffrey
cop-out.
Rush. God help us if it turns out that he actually survives in the book series.
Okay, in my search too, I didn't find a copy of borrowed a copy of Legend of the Guardians, but I did find a copy of the PS3 game of Rise of the Guardians from DreamWorks.
That's not the same thing.
When did Rise of the Guardians come out?
2012.
Okay.
Yes, Echidna, you did. Congrats. Let's see. Legends of the Guardians, Owls of Ga'Hoole, PS3, Wii, Xbox 360, and Nintendo DS.
Yeah, I was searching the PS3 copy just to see for Kings how much it would cost, but no, it's really rare.
Oh, let's see. Apparently it takes some elements from the books. How nice. As for the
there's the family.
We're
There's
so
the
proud
parents.
of you. Now, where's your brother?
How about that?
You made them real? What?
The
His
dreams.
dreams. Anyway, apparently the reception for the game was mixed and average, but apparently, let's see.
The the final thing during the ceremony at the end of New Hope.
Yeah, might as well. Yeah, they
Oh,
called
look
it.
at that.
Called
And
it.
now
they got,
you get
they
your
became,
armor.
All of them became guardians overnight.
Well, Tio, considering how Soren, a newbie, pretty much killed the leader of the Pure Ones, yeah, sure, why not? This is like if Luke killed the Emperor in the first movie. Okay, you know what, to be fair, maybe in the book there's more context to this. Maybe in the book it makes better sense here. I can only judge this as I see, though.
Let me see.
Of course,
there we go.
Naira escaped.
Tease for the next movie, but it will
Claude?
never happen. Oh, Claude is still alive.
Are we sure that's Claude? Maybe it's just another...
That's because from
Wait,
what I read.
what? Wait, what?
That's because from what I read on TV Tropes, apparently the characters of Metal Beak and Claude were supposed to be the same in the book.
Wait. So Metalbeak and Claude are supposed to be the same people, so...
But we just split them into two and arranged them. It seems to be very complicated.
I don't even.
Which is probably why that teaser was there at the end, just to say, hey guys, in the next movie, don't worry, Claw will be the actual Metal Beak.
This is like if you split Scar into two characters and, made one of him actually a character we were supposed to like from the get-go.
Well, in better news, I found the PS3, a PS3 prior to ISO. So, yeah.
Yay, expect a future commentary then.
Well, depends if the game is actually bearable to play, I guess.
Well, from what I see, the PS3 version got a 62 out of 100 on Metacritic.
That's not saying too much, Joe. But so did Brave, and we all know how that turned out.
Maybe it will. Let's see. Game Informer's the limited in scope and complexity. The game does everything it sets out to do.
All right.
It remains a fun family diversion throughout.
All right. I actually don't know if there's a post-credit scene, but I don't think so. But
Let
still,
me check just to be safe.
In the meantime, tell your final thoughts.
Alright, well, I gotta go after my final thoughts anyway, so, yeah. It's a movie. It has owls in it. I mean, the music's fine and the animation's amazing by the standards of 2010. But those are like the only things I can somewhat say positive things about. This movie's just this is one of those in one ear, out the other movies.
Oh, wait, guys, I gotta point this out. This song we're listening to right now, is a song done by the band Owl City.
Ah.
The song's...
Amazing.
Yeah.
Anyway, back to my final thoughts. Well, I mean, that's the thing, the plot, when it's not confusing the hell out of me, it's extremely forgettable, as are the characters. I appreciate Zack Snyder trying to do something different than his usual stuff, especially considering Watchmen came out the previous year, and then, we had Sucker Punch the following year. But unfortunately, unlike, say, Martin Scorsese, it didn't really pan out.
It did not work.
No, I don't think so, really. So, yeah, Legend of the Guardians, the Owls of Ga'Hoole, more like Ga'Hoole. Get it? Who? I don't know who the hell these people are.
I looked at the final part of the credits. It says, "In memory of Douglas Spicish." How do you pronounce this last name? Hold on.
Shoot, I didn't see it good.
Me neither.
Don't worry, I'll write it down. Go ahead. Let's continue.
No, that's about it. It's a movie that I'll probably forget about in a minute.
Apparently, most of the world forgot about it.
Yeah.
Well, can you blame them, really?
Oh, no, not really. Alright, I'll be off then. See you.
I'll go next. It is not necessarily a terrible movie per se, but it is unfortunately, outside of its visuals and music. Oh, Hugo Weaving played 2 characters, go figure. Outside of its visuals, action, and music, this movie is the epitome of forgettable here. I think the problem is it feels like the equivalent of, per se, you start building a house with bricks, but then for the roofing you used paper mache, and because of that it all collapses upon itself here and there. Okay, let's imagine that the action and visuals are the bricks upon which you start the house with, but everything else is, again, weak paper mache or whatnot. So it's weak here. It feels like they just wanted an excuse to shoot some cool action scenes with owls here and there, have some owl rear-end humor, which Pedro seemed to love oh so much with the amount of owl butts. The action scenes were good. That's pretty much the main positive I have, is the visuals, action, and music here. The music definitely is giving it its all, to the point where it feels like it has to do some of the acting here and there. The actors are also giving it their all as well, though. I feel like the dialogue is fine enough, it's just the story that's the problem. For the first half, stuff is rushing by to the point where I have a hard time registering what's going on, and then finally we start to slow down and actually properly craft out character here. The problem is, because of the rather weak first half, we don't get that much build-up here. And while there are some better characters introduced in the second half here and there, we don't get as much time with them as we really could have had. Again, this movie could have really worked by being longer here and there. It feels like it's trying to stuff way too much, and from what I hear, apparently they got to the point where they literally split one character into 2. Jesus Christ. I don't even see the mentality or reason behind it either. I mean, I guess Soren gets to be doubly awesome, taking on both his brother and Metalbeak here and there.
I guess.
Although, from what I understand, Metalbeak wasn't even supposed to die in this one, was he?
I don't know, actually.
Who knows? But whatever, okay. From what I understand, fans of the books did not care for this movie. Again, I cannot judge it as an adaptation. What I can judge it for is the story in and of itself, and, well, like I said, I only really started having something of a good time around the halfway point, because for the first half, I was just mainly trying to make heads or tails of the plot here and there, or the characters and whatnot. And when it finally was to that point here and there, it didn't feel like it had that much a strong foundation because of the extremely weak first half. The best things throughout were definitely the visuals. I've said that before, and I'll say it again. And I did dig how we got to see all these different kinds of owls here, and they're like, holy cow, this could have made for one dramatic owl biodrama, or like, just a documentary on owls here and there. But alas, the villains are kind of interesting, I guess. I guess Nero is going to be the main antagonist now. I think my biggest problem with the antagonist was Clud. Clud's downfall, I guess let's call it, didn't feel like it had any foundation really that good. It's just, yeah, I get it. He was jealous of his brother, and apparently the parents paid more attention to Soren. I mean, apparently they still do, since they never even asked about what happened to his brother.
Yeah, if anything, it tells a lot about the fact that parents did not just care about him.
Like, if that really is the case, then holy cow, you ended up raising a monster goody there.
Would explain the psychology.
Again, the problem is that at best it's inferred and stuff that we as viewers come up with ourselves. I'm not asking for a movie to spell out every single thing for us, but come on. Like, again, establish your characters better. That's pretty much it. Like I said, good action, nice enough character dialogue, amazing visuals, a great soundtrack and score. Well, except for that weird random pop song. I mean, I didn't even hate the pop song, it's just that it feels so unfitting.
Unfitting, yeah.
Oh, I will admit, though, having the credits song be done by Owl City was actually kind of clever, and it does sound pretty nice. But aside from that, this movie was a flop in pretty much every sense of the word here and there. If you're really curious, give it a watch. It's not something that you're gonna necessarily regret. But because there's not really any semblance of a sequel, even though the actors did go on to say that they would love to show up in a sequel, mind you, this report was given in 2012, so...
Well, Joe, supposedly Zack is actually having sequels to some of the older projects, like Army of the Dead, thanks to Netflix, so who knows, if the Justice League cut actually gets positive reviews, maybe Warner Bros. Will be stupid enough to actually conceiving a sequel to this.
Maybe. Oh, Douglas Spishik.
Yeah, Doug, how the hell do you pronounce?
I don't know.
Douglas Spinach.
Douglas Peaches.
But yeah, that's pretty much my final thoughts here. Good visuals, dialogue, and action and music. Everything else sucks, though, which unfortunately causes the whole thing to collapse. Next.
This movie is a film for it. It happens. It happens, and you kind of just forget about it nearly immediately, just because of how unremarkable it is. Yeah, my impressions
how fitting.
from it.
The parts are what comes out of a butt.
My impressions are basically the same as 10 years ago. This is my second time watching the movie, for the record. And yeah, watching it a second time 10 years after, this is actually the 10th anniversary of this movie. Yeah, and no, it's still the same. Yeah, I don't really care about anything in this movie aside from the visuals. Now, the visuals are amazing, like especially that shot in the rain that they use so much in the marketing, and for good reason. The series, if I was marketing this movie, I would do the same. I would show the shit out of that shot, like, because that shot looks amazing. But again, it boils down to the extra thing. Yeah, it's not, the visuals are good, but there's only so much you can take with pretty visuals, because the pretty like the beauty of this movie is only skin deep. Like, the music is fine, and the action is fine, but I wish there was a little less slow-mo, you know. But whatever. The story is a mess. Like, it doesn't really know what the hell it's doing. The characterization is almost non-existent, and and the plot is way too rushed, and it's just, there's just no room for the movie to breathe and actually, create some kind of character or personality to it. It's just a movie that feels like it's interested in just one thing: world building, and that's nice. But a believable world means nothing if there's not compelling characters in it. Like, it just doesn't work because, okay, again, I don't know how the books are. Apparently, the book fans didn't care for it, and, well, who knows? Maybe the books are better. I don't know. But the truth is that this movie was forgotten, and for good reason. There's not really any reason to really try to make this movie be remembered. There's no real good reason for it. This movie was forgotten for good reason, because it's a movie that is completely impossible to get attached to, really. Like,
That, and it bombed.
yeah, no, but that's a thing, Joe. But even movies that bomb usually develop a cult fan base as the years go on. This movie,
True.
no. This movie is now 10 years old, and it's still in that spot. There's still no cult fan base to be found for this movie.
True.
Nobody
yeah.
cares about this movie. This movie has literally been given the worst fate a piece of media could ever have: be completely forgotten.
Damn straight. I mean, that's worse than being hated or loved.
Or dead, according to Freya.
True, yeah. Even stuff that's arguably dead will still at least get the passerby fan.
Most people, this is one of those movies there, if you mention the name of the movie, most people will say, what? I never heard of that.
I think it says something that people will at least remember Brave of all things, for as lame as that movie is.
It helps that Brave was a movie made by a beloved studio, so of course it was going to get a bit more recognition.
Yeah.
This movie, and yeah, it was directed by Zack Snyder, but Zack Snyder wasn't exactly the popular figure that he is now at the time.
It was released under Warner Brothers.
Yeah, he made Watchmen, but Watchmen was mostly Watchmen was well received, but it wasn't like this big phenomenon or anything. So at the time, Zack Snyder was still kind of an underground director of sorts. He wasn't really full blown mainstream yet. So I can understand why this movie would be utterly forgotten. Yeah. It's a movie. It happens, and I'll now go back into not remembering it and not caring about it like I've been doing for the past 10 years. So,
I guess until one of us does like a commentary of the game.
Also, Zach, you wanted the movie you could share with your daughter. I don't know, dude. This movie sounds like it would put her to sleep. Like,
When it doesn't scare them.
yeah. So yeah, that was it too. Close it out.
Okay, first of all, I actually did out of curiosity search. Apparently, I found 2 reviews, and we were done kind of where the movie came out. At least there are a couple of reviews, but the one that I know, there's one from Jeremy Jans, which I'm not trusting too much, and one from Animat. So I'm gonna check them out. They're not even too long after we're done today. But no, I'm mostly disappointed because I can see the potential behind this movie, not just in terms of the pretty animation, but also the story and the world that we're trying to craft with so many inspiration, like, Secret of Nim, Fairy Day,
Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, that too. Classic epic mythology and stuff. And even the creativity they put for the house, for the equipment, it's just that it's more of a skeleton of a movie. It really needed at least 30 more minutes to have the scenes, a bit more dilated, so that things could be explained better without being rushed. Aside from that, the only other major thing that I want to point out that hasn't been pointed out is about our protagonist, Soren. I try to tolerate him, but from kind of the halfway point onward, he started to be very unlikable to me. Way too much of a Boy Scout and way too, naive to think that his brother could still pass on the good side, despite the fact that he completely told him to his face that he didn't want it, and of course it ends with him dying. To be fair, they also found a way to quote unquote cop out having the brother, being killed by his own hubris instead of having Soren actually deal the killing blow. But they actually have Soren kill Metal Beak, so there's that. There's also what I mentioned about the pulp song. God damn it. And but yeah, this was mostly a disappointment. But I would say this: it did the job that an adaptation is supposed to do. It made me curious to check the source material, so I'm gonna check the books as well. So there's that. I hope the author is happy. Zack probably a bit less.
Yeah.
All right, that's it for me, and I guess for the movie. So maybe we'll see the video game at some point, maybe not. Who knows?
We'll see. I'll look it up. Maybe see how the video game is.
As for Zack, I guess we'll see you for, I don't know, 300 or Watchmen. Who knows?
Yeah. Oh,
Totally
Yeah.
300.
And Sin City.
Well, that's
Wait,
Rodriguez.
no. That's Robert
Oh, wait.
Rodriguez.
Oh wait,
I
never
mean,
mind.
I still like the movie, but it's Rodriguez, another guy.
No, never mind then.
All right, see ya.
See ya.